Hey, before we get started, just want to let you guys know about my comic Dark Phantom. Issues 1 through 10 are available now for free on Webtoon. We've worked really hard on it and it would mean a lot to me if you would check it out. Thanks, and let's get on with the video. Hey, so you know what Channel Awesome is, right? The home of the Nostalgia Critic, the birth of the online movie review. It used to be known as That Guy with the Glasses, and in its heyday, it was the home of reviewers from across the internet. But these days, especially after the Change the Channel controversy, it's looking a little barren. But Doug Walker has always wanted the Channel Awesome to be more than just the home of the Nostalgia Critic. He wants an empire. He wants it to be an umbrella for all sorts of different shows about movies and TV. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, the weird state of modern Channel Awesome. And I am joined in that quest by my friend, Ross McIntyre. Say hello, Ross.
Hello, Ross. It's me. I'm here. I made it again. This time in live action.
And no, it's been last time you were here, we talked about We're Back, a dinosaur story.
We sure did.
And now we're talking about Doug's Back, a Walker story.
Go to hell. Go right to hell. How dare you?
So, to preface this, we're not going to be talking about all of the shows of Channel Awesome, because Channel Awesome has a lot of shows. Like, we're going to be talking about the ones that I find particularly noteworthy. We're not going to be sitting here talking about Doug's reviews, or as he likes to call them, his vlogs.
Vlogs.
Can you believe Doug's not 40?
I mean, I guess so. It doesn't feel right, but I always assumed everyone who was older than me on the internet when I was a teenager was like 50, so that it could just be me.
He just seems like he should be at least 42.
Yeah, that seems right. Any age, any point in the Nostalgia Critic's history, it seems like he should be 42 years old.
Never aging, never dying. There's also first viewing, something that we are not going to talk about because it's literally just Doug and Rob watching movies that they're just going to review for Nostalgia Critic and making the same jokes that they make in the Nostalgia Critic review. I don't get it. Why do people watch that? And then we also got Tamara's shows, like Tamara's Never Seen and $20 Cosplay. It's nice that Tamara has something. It's nice.
She should. She's nice.
Yeah, she seems cool.
She seems like a cool person.
Why doesn't Malcolm have a show? Give Malcolm a show.
Doesn't he do like the behind the scenes stuff? You're far more like caught up on who does what than I am. All I know is the man in the suit yells a lot. That's all I really know.
They really don't do the behind the scenes stuff anymore. Malcolm used to do that, but that's kind of fallen off. I'm just saying, he's the only black guy. Everyone else is white. He's the only one without his own show.
I mean, when you look at it like that, it is a little unsettling.
I'm not gonna accuse Doug of it. I'm just pointing that out. I'm not saying. Am I saying Doug Walker is a belligerent racist KKK member? Of course not. Am I saying?
No, but we're not saying that. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that on the record.
If Doug Walker wants to sue us, can't touch us.
Satire and parody clause. Doesn't he love that one?
Yeah. This video is fair use, Doug. Where's the fair use? It's
Where
right
is
here. It's right here, Doug.
You found it. Congrats, Doug. We've been waiting for you. Welcome to the land of fair use.
Let's start off with fanscription. Hold on, let me... So fanscription is a weird show, and I don't know how to categorize it. Because, like, half the time, it's Walter Benasiak, who has just the best name.
Oh, great.
The best name of any of the Channel Awesome people. It's him basically getting paid to write fan fiction. And the other half is Rob being boring. And that's the part we're going to focus on today. Rob being boring.
Wait, you're telling me Rob Walker acts boring in a video? I won't believe it.
Today we're gonna my favorite, the worst fanscription video I've seen so far. I mean, like, there's some a lot of, I feel like the entire show is pointless because like it's literally just fan fiction.
It's
Like,
just like two people talking about
yeah,
hypotheticals.
what if the Incredibles got older? What if Christian Bale was in Justice League? What if Tarzan
What if
was
the Incredibles got older? Was Incredibles 2? Was it not? I mean, not much older, but like, is that not kind of the concept?
What if characters aged? Today we're gonna watch Rob Walker. What if we fixed Ghostbusters 2016?
Oh no, this is everything I hate in a YouTube video. I'll be honest.
Just based on the
this sounds
title
like the
alone.
worst thing. Yeah, no, everything. Rob Walker. I don't actually hate Rob Walker. I don't hate any of these people. I don't. I just want to be clear.
Well, I'd say don't do it, because Ghostbusters has been done. But it's Sony, and they're gonna do it anyway. So this is the only treatment I can come up with on short notice. It may not be the best, or great, but it's something.
That's strong. It's a strong opening.
So we start off with some kids doing the old Bloody Mary in a mirror routine at an abandoned school. You might know this bit. You say Bloody Mary in a mirror 3 times and a ghost is supposed to appear.
When did this video come up?
2020.
So he saw the trailer for Candyman where the girls were doing the fucking thing in the mirror. And
Yeah.
he copied that.
Oh, and by the way, his first video in this series, why Ghostbusters 2016 didn't work, also 2020. So he's making the same points people
So
are
he's been
making.
ruminating on this for almost half a decade.
This is Rob's magnum opus.
The 3 of them finally have the evidence they need, and Patty is now a believer. Unfortunately, when they return to the college, they find out it's been shut down by the feds.
This is literally just Rob.
Just him pitching
Yeah.
a potential Ghostbusters movie that has vague associations with what actually happened. Okay.
I don't see the point in this video. Like, other than, like, maybe for fun, but it's not fun. It's really boring.
I mean, it's boring, yes, but also I don't really see how this is fixing Ghostbusters. If you're just rewriting it from the ground up.
Just
That's not
making a
really
new movie.
Yeah. Which is really, I mean, fundamentally, that's the perspective of everyone who makes videos like these. How would you fix this movie? Oh, I should write it.
Yeah.
And they're never correct.
We then start off with Patty, who works at an advertising agency.
So she has a completely different job, completely different. This is not fixing anything. You're just rewriting it from the ground up. And is that what all these are like?
Basically, yes.
Oh my god.
At least with Walter's videos, they have not, I for lack of a better word, interesting prompts. You know,
Right.
it's like, what if this aspect of the movie was different? This is just Rob saying, what if I wrote the movie? Next, I want to talk about this is the second worst show on Channel Awesome.
Right.
Only because, by virtue of Walter being genuinely seeming like a passionate guy.
Yeah, he seems nice.
He seems nice. Like, Rob
That's
and
the thing
Doug.
about all the people.
Yeah.
All the people in the Walker's orbit. I feel almost bad for them, but not too bad because I'm sure they're making more money than I am.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you guys, oh, I wish we could be friends.
Yeah.
You guys seem cool.
I feel like, yeah, Rob, Doug, and Brad are like the bad ones. Everyone else is just kind of being like taking a paycheck and seeming to have fun with it along the way.
I mean, you have to at a certain point, you know?
Speaking of Brad and Rob being the worst ones, let's watch their collab show. Brad ruins Rob's day. Hold on, let me find a good episode. Can you tell I prepared extensively for this video?
Oh, yes, and I would expect nothing less. Now, I don't think your audience, or really my audience, will know this, but we have a deep history with Channel Awesome. I mean, both of us grew up watching all these videos, but you and I would say, we haven't done it in a while. We did a few, like a week ago or so, but every now and again, usually once or twice a week in the old days, we would hop on Discord and we just binge Nostalgia Critic videos, and it's really depressing. But usually it's just us talking over them. But like, we've learned so much. I think I've learned so much about Doug Walker through this.
Absolutely.
I try not to invest myself too deeply in the lives of random internet strangers because it seems really depressing to do that all day. But there are these few I hold on to, and Doug is one of them where I'm like, just to study his mind is just so fascinating to me.
Absolutely. I feel like I know Doug Walker better than I know myself. Just he puts so much of himself out there on his videos.
Yeah, he puts a lot of himself into his work for sure. And I mean, we could be talking out of our asses because we have no real idea. And I'm sure, given all the change the channel and all the weird rights issues with the Nostalgia Critic character, there are some motivations that we don't know about. But
Yeah.
on the surface, from the outside looking in, it has been a fairly, I would say, consistent vision. So it's hard to read too much sympathy into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I found the first video I saw of Brad ruins Rob's day, which I think really cemented my dislike for this show.
I have a headache in my eye from this film. I'm not even exaggerating.
It's very lazy. That's the first thing you're going to see from this.
Okay. Well, I can tell they're filming on one of Brad's cameras
Yeah.
that he's had for 18 years.
Spoiler, the joke's on you. Doug already ruined my day because he showed me Tusk this morning.
Oh, I got something for you that's worse than Tusk. I got something for you that's worse than Yoga Hosers.
And this is the classic Doug Walker Nostalgia Critic thing of being like, I saw a bad movie and now my day is ruined. Oh no.
That hyperbole.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is the thing is, I understand the appeal of sit down and talk content.
Yeah, that's
but
what we're
I'm kind
making
of falling
right
out
here.
of love with it recently. Yeah, but I mean, at least you're gonna cut around it and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
you're gonna put up fancy visuals, and we've got, I mean, at least 2 cameras running. You know, the production value is through the roof. But this is one
over,
angle of a camera
Marvel.
that I don't even think can go full HD.
Yeah.
Just talking, they're just watching things.
A story about love, peace, and harmony.
And the point that I want to make here, right here, they don't watch the movie. They just watch trailers. And like, if you're lucky, maybe one clip from the movie. Which I feel like that kind of ruins the premise of a show like this.
Yeah. That's very weird, honestly.
Like, isn't the fun of ruining Rob's day showing him the movie?
I was working so much yesterday afternoon that I could only watch this last night after my wife got home. At one point, she gets up to go have a cigarette. I'm like, I'll go outside and join you. She goes, no, you stay here so you don't have to pause this.
How many bad movie-based domestic disputes do you think Brad Jones and Doug Walker have involved themselves in?
Oh, I'm sure every time that they watch a bad movie, they just like go into a drunken stupor. It's like, this movie is so bad. Like his wife is huddling in a corner with her phone. Please come as
He's
fast
just
as you
like
can.
throwing beer bottles against the wall and screaming.
A bet! Credit card!
I feel like if God willing, I ever meet Doug Walker in real life, I'm gonna have a bat credit card on me and like slip it into his pocket somehow, like reverse pickpocket him, just to see what happens when he finds it.
Just like you're at a con, you slip it into his pocket. A couple hours later, from across the room, you just hear, "Oh, bet! Credit card!"
Or I tip off the police, and they find him for the contraband. This isn't mine, officer. I swear, this isn't my bad credit card.
Okay, well, I think we've seen. I made my point with this show.
Yeah. It's just a couple people talking
and saying nothing.
I get that's technically content, but they have clearly so little familiarity with what they're even talking about because they haven't even bothered to watch the movie.
Yeah.
It's just it's the idea of the concept of a movie ruining someone's day is so like even removed from how you could spin that as a joke as a video, because you haven't even seen it, so that makes no sense. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's silly. It's dumb.
Stuff like that you need to have seen the movie. That's like the easiest thing.
Yeah. And also the most fun part of watching terrible movies like this, any kind of terrible movie, is watching it with people.
Yeah.
The reactions in the moment. The idea of someone relaying this experience to someone else. Like, never once have I been like, oh yeah, I'll get on Discord and tell Jack about this shitty movie I watched. Like, no, we'll watch one together.
Anyway, let's talk about going from the worst show of Channel Awesome to what I think is the best show of Channel Awesome, Dark Toons.
If you look around my office, you might realize I have kind of a love for dark, twisted cartoons. And a lot of that may be because I grew up with a lot of dark, twisted cartoons.
So this is a staple of Doug Walker videos and Channel Awesome creators in general, both old and new. They're have very long intros. This is 40 seconds long, and it starts every episode of Dark Toons.
Sometimes you just gotta cut a cat's head off.
I love that Doug Walker's adult office looks like a first-year university student's dorm room. I have seen girls' rooms that look exactly like that. They just buy the prints from like a poster sale or Polaroids. It just...
I mean, Doug Walker really is a perpetual first-year college student, film student.
In many ways, yes.
Even though he's...
I mean, he does have the framed Kick-Assia poster out of frame, so there's that one.
He's still proud of Kick-Assia.
I would burn those in my backyard.
Like I said before, by no means dark background, but definitely very elegant backgrounds. There's still a lot of nice artistry to admire in this. The way they show the moonlight reflecting, it's still very nice looking.
The thing I love so much about Dark Toons is that it's Doug doing his regular Doug reviews thing, but it's like, we all know Doug loves old cartoons, right? Like, he wears that on his sleeve. He considers his character to be like live action Daffy Duck. But so like just this, I love Doug just out of character talking about something he's clearly very knowledgeable about and clearly very passionate about.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I wish more of his videos were like this.
There's even something about the angle he's using too.
It's
like we're kind of talking
pleasing.
down to you and then looking back up. It's much more like intimate.
Yeah,
he seems much more comfortable here. Like, he seems happier, he's positive. Like, this is the kind of shit he should be making only, you know?
Yeah, this should be the future of Channel Awesome. You can get rid of Nostalgia Critic, just do stuff like this. More personal stuff like this. Now...
Well, I mean, the issue is he sold the rights.
Yeah, he sold his soul. But now, there is one problem I have with this, is with Dark Toons, is that he takes audience requests way too much. Like, he'll review stuff like SpongeBob and Powerpuff Girls, stuff he did not grow up with, and we know he didn't grow up with. And when he does that, he's always clearly not as passionate about it as he is when he's talking about like Tom and Jerry or Looney Tunes or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, so I think he should just stop doing that. Just only do videos on cartoons that he genuinely cares about and loves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, maybe once a month or however often he does this. Like, every now and again do a viewer request. But yeah, if you overload on that, then like I think you'd lose a little bit of this sort of like connection. Because I think a lot of Doug's stuff is based on his experiences with stuff, less so than like his actual critical analysis of anything.
Yeah.
So I think he should lean more into that stuff.
And this is exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like him talking about, like, he already knows all this information. This is just him telling us about it. I think that's cool.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing YouTube's kind of made for, you know?
Nostalgia Critic is just too overproduced, I think, by YouTube standards.
Well, I would argue the production is, I don't know if overproduced is the word.
It's yeah, for lack of a better word, again. Overproduced.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Hey, Timon, I don't feel so good.
And then, of course, we have Nostalgia Critic type tier humor in this, but still.
Yeah. Well, you have to, because Doug still has a very stupid sense of humor, no matter what.
Yeah. But it feels more sincere here. It feels charming here somehow.
Well, I think a lot of it is like maybe a lot of the problem with later Doug Walker stuff. A lot of it isn't stuff he was genuinely interested in anymore. It's just, what can I make a Nostalgia Critic video about? How can I frame this around like a skit? You know, the old stuff was stuff he actually watched and had memories of, and you know, had time to sit on and percolate in your brain. But no, this is...
And this harkens back to that old era, and that's exactly why he shouldn't be doing the viewer request stuff, because he doesn't care about that stuff, and he clearly doesn't care. There is such
Yeah.
a stark difference between when he talks about Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and Max Fleischer cartoons, and then when he talks about like Cartoon Network shows.
Old cartoon rule: if you have mice in the cartoon and there's food in it, there must always be Swiss cheese, and some sort of joke must be made with the holes. It's cartoon law. Many have lost their lives not heeding to it. And you know how.
But I feel like even his delivery I can see him making these jokes as the nostalgia critic, and the delivery is so much more, I guess, palatable here.
Yeah. He seems if I didn't know who Doug Walker was, I would think this guy seems like a real wholesome dude.
And then you watch, one nostalgia critic video and just sink into the void.
Oh, this is his life.
Yeah. Oh no.
Anyway, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover from Modern Day Channel Awesome. Closing thoughts? I don't know. I thought it would be funny.
You go first.
Well, my only closing thought was, I don't know. I just thought this would be a funny thing to do.
I mean, you constantly try to expose me to more Channel Awesome content, so I think this may have been an elaborate ruse to just make me watch more of this bullshit.
That's true.
Because you always try to make me do it, and I usually cave in. But yeah, I mean, I honestly think, like myself, I might say, Doug Walker works better when he has videos that are shorter.
Yeah.
And he has more condensed script and format, and I think simplicity works well for him. So that's why like the newer nostalgia critic stuff hasn't really. I mean, you could say you go on for hours about all of them, but I think that's the sort of fundamental problem, is that he's doing too much, and he works best when it's just kind of him talking, just and being honest, being open, and the fewer people he drags into his orbit or makes be a part of it, I think it kind of works better for his voice, I guess.
Yeah, all Nostalgia Critic started as was just Doug talking about something he remembered to a camera, and that's been lost. But that's all it ever needs to be. We don't need a whole. He doesn't need a studio. He doesn't need a production company. But
yeah,
the problem is Doug thinks he's more of a filmmaker than he is. And so I don't think, I mean, now he can't go back because he's got people who rely on him for paychecks. So if he just
that's a
said,
big problem too.
If he just said like, okay, I'm just going to make dark tunes now, no more Nostalgia Critic, several people would be unemployed.
Yeah. So he's in a little too deep. I don't know. I mean, I think as long as he has these little outlets, I mean, I guess it's nice to know that he is still producing like good stuff on some level. You said there were only a couple of these ones, but I mean, Dark Toons seems all right.
Yeah.
The other stuff seems kind of boring, and the fan fiction-y stuff, but that's whatever. I mean, with Doug, I've always been very interested in Doug and kind of the stuff he makes, but I think it's sometimes inability and sometimes his lack of desire to evolve has been a problem. But like watching that, I wouldn't expect Doug Walker to make a short little 6-minute cut picture to picture, like very simply, like what's the word? Like a very streamlined video like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he can, and it can turn out pretty well. I mean, as long as he can still pump out something good, even if Nostalgia Critic is his main brand, and it might be ultimately detrimental to his his image online because of that show's how it is, the everything about it. It's still, I mean, I think that's what you're saying too. The passion is the key.
Yeah. And I feel like it feels, I mean, I'm not in the business of knowing what's going on in Doug Walker's brain, but that feels like it's been lost over the years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, now let's watch Linkara's entire Marvel Transformers comics retrospective.
Yeah, let's do that. That sounds.
We're gonna do
so
that
fun
now.
and
Bye,
exciting.
bye, everyone.
Bye. Yeah, that's definitely what we're doing.
Oh wait, Ross, do you wanna tell the people, even though you have a much bigger following than I do, would you like to tell the people where they can find you?
Oh yeah, you can find me on YouTube at my channel is my name, Ross McIntyre, and you can find me on Twitter. My name is the same there. Not really, but okay. Well, I did that great. That was great. That was flawless. I executed that flawlessly, and I'm not doing a second take.
You don't need to. That was perfect.
Nope.
And
That's why they call me the one take wonder.
you can find me on Twitter at ClassActJack. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can do that. It would help a lot. Or if you want to check out my comic, Dark Phantom, for free, like I said at the beginning, it's free on Webtoon. Links to everything are in the description. I'll see you guys later.
Read Dark Phantom.